This is Beyond Mount Rushmore, the history you never knew you needed. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Hickox. This is our self-proclaimed presidential historian, Stan Nowalonic.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Jeff. How are you? You told me before we started you're not hungover.
I'm not hungover. Thanks
Okay.
for
Just wanted to make
Thanks for
sure
pointing that out to everybody. Appreciate that.
Believe it or not, today I do know who we're talking about.
There's a first.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I have to think about it, and I turn to you, and you tell me it's me.
It's your turn.
Yeah, but I do know what we're talking about today.
Okay.
And I got a little, before I tell you who we're going to be talking about today, I have a little update on our person that we're going to be featuring
this person.
today. This very person that we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
This person's grandson just passed away back in May. Just realized that our topic,
Yeah.
the grandson, has just passed away.
A couple of months ago.
In May 25th. His grandfather was born the second year after George Washington became president.
Right.
His grandson
Just died.
a couple of months back.
That's incredible. I mean, think about that. That is the span of the whole history of the United States in 3 people.
This person was our 10th president of the United States and one of the most controversial presidents in history.
Nobody talks about him.
John Tyler.
Yes.
John Tyler did not run for president.
He did not. He was gifted the presidency by Tecumseh.
Correct. our previous episode.
Correct.
John Tyler. This is amazing stuff we're about to tell you. We're going to blow your mind.
Yes.
If we didn't blow your mind already that his grandson
Right.
just died and he was born 1 year into George Washington's term, that should, Oh, and we talk about that. How does this happen?
Yeah.
Because John Tyler was born March 29th, 1790 in Charles County, Virginia. How does this happen? I have a recording
You do.
of his grandson. His grandson was pretty much involved in a lot of things and actually lived at his grandfather's plantation called Sherwood Forest. I'll explain that later.
Okay.
But his grandson, Harrison Ruffin Tyler.
Harrison. Is that a coincidence?
I don't know. His first name's Harrison Ruffin Tyler. Again, died May 25th, 2025. Here he is in his own words describing how he is who he is.
Okay.
My grandfather was born in 1790. My father was born in 1853. And I was born in 1928 at that time. He was 63 years old. And my father was 75 when I was born. And so that's how we get to where we are.
Wow.
John Tyler married twice.
Yes.
His second wife was, I believe, 20.
30 years his junior.
He had a daughter who was older than her.
Yeah.
And he had 15 children total.
Yes.
8 with his first wife, 7 with his second. And as I told you, Harrison just passed away this year. His other grandson passed away in 2020.
Right. And he had his last child, President Tyler's child, he was 70 when he had his last child.
Yeah.
So the family had a history of fathering late in life.
Exactly. And carrying on that name.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
Let's talk about that name.
Tyler was vice president, as we said, under William Henry Harrison. He was vice president for 1 month.
Right.
And then Tecumseh's
Can you
curse.
imagine that, though? Think about that. You think you're just going to be the vice president. Next thing you know, you're like, I'm what?
Yeah. Because Harrison drops dead 1 month into it, 31 days.
And this has never happened before, Stan.
Never. We're up to our 9th and 10th presidents,
Yeah.
and no president has died in office. So there was total confusion.
Yeah, nobody knew what to do.
Does we know today that if the president passes away, the vice president automatically becomes president. But the Constitution itself is a little ambiguous about it. There's no, let me read to you what the Constitution said. And when Harrison died,
Yes.
and John Tyler, as vice president, said, what am I supposed to do? Everybody, congressmen, lawyers, scholars, they all went to the Constitution. What do we do?
Right.
Here's what the Constitution says. It reads, in case of the removal of the president from office or his death, resignation, or inability to discharge the powers and duties of said office, the same shall devolve on the vice president.
Okay.
Which basically means, according to the Constitution, he was still vice president, acting president.
Gotcha.
And there's where
Because of the word devolve.
Yes, and there's where the disputes came in. None other than John Quincy Adams, our sixth president of the United States, who was in the House of Representatives at that time.
After becoming president.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. But he was in the House of Representatives, and he said, they immediately went, Tim, you're a former president. What do you think?
Yeah.
And he said he believed John Tyler was the caretaker of the presidency until a new president was elected.
Can I interject with one quick question?
What?
At this time, were they still, it was the first place and second place, how they got the president, the vice president?
You Tippecanoe and Tyler too. They were running as a pair.
Okay.
For the Whig Party.
Okay, right.
Adams says, no, he's a caretaker to the presidency. John Tyler would have none of this.
Mm-hmm, of course.
He knew that there was controversy. These guys are not going to accept me as president of the United States, and they're going to, send it around Congress and the Senate and the House of Representatives, and people are going to interpret it. No, he immediately ordered a swearing in. He got a justice, and he got sworn in as president of the United States and declared, I am the 10th president of the United States, and took Harrison's cabinet and basically sat them down and said, you are going to refer to me as the president.
Nobody knew what to call him.
Nobody knew what to call him, but he made
that decision on his own then.
He's made that decision on his own.
Okay.
And what it did was clear up a lot of stuff. He, being the first vice president to assume the presidency, cleared it up for history to the present day.
Right, that's true. By doing that, he cleared up that issue on the Constitution.
He said, hey, I'm the president. And Harrison's cabinet didn't necessarily like it. In fact, within the first year of Tyler's presidency, or assuming the role of president, most of his cabinet quit or resigned or just plain left. And you got to understand politics at the time, too. We had evolving political parties. You had the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. Tyler was a Democrat. He left the Democratic Party to become a Whig,
right,
and a member of the Whig Party, which eventually became the Republican Party.
Oh, I didn't
Believe
know
it or
that.
not, Abraham Lincoln was a Whig.
I didn't know that. I thought he was a Republican.
And when the Republican Party came to be, he was a Republican, but initially a Whig.
Huh. It's a weird name for
that
a
is a
party,
weird name
by the
for
way.
a party. Yep. He was, again, not well liked.
No.
Kicked out of the Democratic Party. The Whigs all like, you're not supposed to be president. We didn't elect you president. We don't want you in the Whig Party either.
Right.
They
didn't they kick him out of the Whig Party, or
did.
did they not? They did.
They did, and I'll get into that.
Okay, sorry.
Because getting kicked out of the party didn't necessarily help him. Part of me admires him. He was a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But he took his job so seriously, he didn't give a rat's ass who liked him or hated him.
Yeah.
He was the first president to have a veto overridden. Usually if Congress goes and passes something up to that point in time and the president said, no, I don't like that, you're not making that a law, it didn't become a law unless 2/3 of the Congress overrode that veto. And he was the first president that happened to because they weren't going to let him.
So he had a veto overridden. First time.
First time ever.
Oh, wow.
He was, and this is going to be crucial to his history, he was a believer in states' rights. He believed that we were called the United States of America.
Yeah.
And that the federal government oversaw certain things like our safety from foreign armies.
Yes.
But he believed each state should govern themselves. He had that belief regarding slaves as well. And here's another thing where he contradicts himself all through his life.
Huh.
He had a plantation. Right. He had slaves.
What state was he in?
Virginia.
Sorry.
He believed in states' rights. If you were a free state, you were a free state. No slaves. Gotcha. If you were a state that allowed slavery, fine. But he knew slavery was wrong, and he was president at the time he ordered the United States to stop the African slave trade into the United States.
Oh, he did.
He said, no, you're not going to bring slave ships into the United States
anymore. I did not know that.
Boy,
that is a contradiction, Stan.
It is. He ended the African slave trade of the United States, but believed in states' rights, that if you were a slave-holding state, you had a right to have your slaves. And he had slaves.
Yeah, well, convenient, isn't it?
He did very, other than that, he was a very ineffectual president. Two other things, and I know you and I had talked about it. He did admit Texas and Florida into the Union, but that led to a lot of problems with Mexico and the Seminole Indians and wars. And
a lot of problems.
Battles with Texas and them becoming a country and then becoming back to Mexico, then to the United States. And
remember the Alamo?
Yes, sir. So we're already dealing with a president that was not elected. Congress didn't feel he was president. He said, yes, I am. His cabinet all goes and resigns on him. He wants to run for re-election. And I say re-election, he wants to go and have his own term. He served Henry Harrison's term. He wants to go and run for president. There ain't a chance in hell.
No. Nobody likes him.
No, the Whigs did not want him. The Democrats did not want him. And that's when he started the Tyler Party.
Of course.
That didn't work out for him. That did not win. Failed. Another Whig won the election, and that was James Polk.
Oh, yeah.
Who went on to serve his 4 years.
Yeah.
And John Tyler was basically told, go home. You don't have a party. You don't have anybody who cares what you say or think. Get out of here.
You don't have a place here, sir.
He went back to his plantation, which he renamed Sherwood Forest. And the reason that he called his plantation Sherwood Forest was in reference to his being an outlaw to the Whig Party.
Okay, makes
sense. He said, well, really? You think I'm
Robin
calling
Hood.
it? Yep. Yeah. This Sherwood Forest. He had to do something.
Yeah.
Here's a former president. He's on his plantation. The town folk, where his plantation is in Virginia, they all laughed at him. He was a joke. John Tyler, former president, let's give him the job of overseer of our roads. And they teased him.
Wow.
They said, okay, come on.
In Virginia.
Yeah. Oversee our roads, because his neighborhood was Whigs.
Oh. Gotcha.
Come on, go ahead, look over our roads, Tyler.
Yeah.
You idiot. He did. He took that job very seriously.
Of course he did.
You're going to give me a job like this, I'm going to rule it with an iron fist.
Yeah.
To the point where his neighbors said, "Okay, you don't have to do this anymore. You're good. You did your job fine. Please leave us alone."
Yeah.
And he said, "Fine. You want to be left alone?" They begged him to stop. That's how big of a jerk he was. But dedicated. I mean, he believed what he believed.
Yeah. Everything he did it with full force.
In 1852, the Democratic Party said, "Oh, the Whigs hate you this bad. We'll let you back into the party."
Oh.
And so John Tyler said, "Oh, that's great. Oh, we're letting you back in. You can call yourself a Democrat, but we don't want you for anything.
We don't need you.
We don't need you." And it goes on today. A lot of presidents, ex-presidents, were asked to speak.
Yeah.
Maybe to represent the party, support some people in your area running for election.
Right.
Here speaking is John Tyler to speak for candidate so-and-so on the Democrat. They didn't want him for that. "No, we don't need you to go and endorse anybody. You're a Democrat, but we don't need
We're
you."
good.
Didn't want him for any public ceremonies. Didn't want him there to dedicate a bridge or a building. They wanted him for nothing.
Damn.
But you're a Democrat.
Damn.
Things changed for him drastically in 1859.
We're getting close to that time.
Yep. That was John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry, Virginia, the abolitionist. It ignited fears with people in Virginia that these abolitionists were going to go and attempt to free the slaves. And they actually feared in Virginia and with John Brown an actual slave rebellion where several Virginia communities organized militia units to stop John Brown and because of the fear of a slave uprising.
Yeah.
Tyler's community organized a cavalry troop and a home guard company. He was chosen to command this. John Brown was feared.
Yeah.
He was stirring things up. So Tyler, in his, "I will handle the militia here. You will call me captain."
And he's going to do it to the nth degree.
Yes.
You will call me captain.
Yeah. I mean, again, he took his job so seriously.
Yeah.
So he calls himself the captain. Now, Civil War was all but certain now. John Tyler re-entered public life as a presiding officer of the Washington Peace Conference held in Washington, D.C. in February of 1861. This conference was held. I mean, think about this, because the country was about ready to be cut in half.
Split in two, yeah.
And these people who were going to become Confederates were United States citizens and politicians and all. And so they had a conference. How are we going to stop this? Let's all sit down as states.
So Tyler was involved in an organization to try to stop the splitting of the United States.
That group was to compromise and avoid the Civil War. It didn't work.
No, we all know that.
At that very time that they're trying to make peace and figure out how to do this, the Confederate Constitution is being drawn up at the Montgomery Convention. So there's two conventions going on.
Yeah.
Tyler, part of the group to say, "Hey, let's avoid this. What can we do?"
Yeah.
And another group at the Montgomery Convention saying, "We're drawing up our Confederate Constitution."
It's already happening
As they speak.
Yeah.
Now, this is where, and I can understand it, but his life changed. History changed. The world erased John Tyler.
Yeah.
because he believed in the original Constitution of states' rights. He loved his state of Virginia.
I'm getting to see a picture now that I did not see before this episode.
What do you mean?
I thought he was just a racist and a slave owner, and he wanted to be a slave owner, but it really wasn't that. It was about states' rights.
Correct. 100 with him, 100% states' rights.
Right. Okay.
It was Tyler himself that signed the Ordinance of Secession for the state of Virginia, that we are no longer a member of the United States. 1 week later, the convention elected him to the Provincial Confederate Congress.
Wow.
Tyler was seated in the Confederate Congress on August 1st, 1861, and he served until just before his death in 1862. In November of 1861, he was elected to the Confederate House of Representatives.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
But he died in his room at the Ballard Hotel in Richmond, Virginia, before the first session could open in February 1862.
So he died before he officially took a Congress position, elected position.
He was elected to the Provisional Confederate Congress and served, and he was elected to the Confederate House of Representatives, fully elected, but just didn't serve. He died before he could serve.
Got you. Interesting.
This is where I'm going to go, and this is Stan's opinion.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 years, we have seen this country turned upside down wrongly with demonstrations knocking over Confederate statues.
Right.
How does this happen?
Abraham Lincoln,
Thomas Jefferson, because he had owned slaves.
Right.
George Washington. You know, if you're going to go knock over a statue or change a school's name or a town, John Tyler is the only one that became a Confederate.
That's
president
true.
of the United States. He was in the Confederate States of America.
He should have been at the top of the list, but we erased him.
Yeah.
So that's why it never happened, I think. I don't know.
Just after midnight on January 18th, 1862, Tyler took a sip of brandy
All right.
and told his doctor, "I'm going." Now, this was, again, he passed away, as I told you, in the Ballard Hotel in Richmond in February of 1862. This is January 18th, 1862. He takes a sip of brandy, tells his doctor, "I'm going." To which the doctor replied, "I hope not, sir." Tyler then said, "Perhaps it is best." February 1862, he died, most likely due to a stroke.
Oh.
He was 71. Washington, D.C. did not want to have a funeral for John Tyler.
For a president of the United States.
Yep, because of his allegiance to the Confederate States of America.
Right. Yep.
We're the United States of America. You are our enemy.
Right.
You died. You're not getting any kind of presidential funeral in Washington, D.C.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah.
He had a state funeral in Virginia. A biggie. Only president of the United States to have his casket draped with the Confederate flag, the Confederate States of America.
Can you believe that?
That's how he was buried.
Talking about a reversal.
And we don't hear about this. We don't know about this.
No.
When they're having the procession for his funeral in Virginia, it's draped in the Confederate flag.
It's a Confederate funeral.
Tyler was buried in Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia, nearby the gravesite, same cemetery,
Yeah.
James Monroe,
Really?
our fifth president.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's incredible. It completely changed my idea of John Tyler, though. Listen, this is a time in America when we had slavery. It's an embarrassing part of our history, but it's a part of our history. You can't ignore it. You have to tell the story. So, that was a great story. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank
I really
you.
appreciated that one. I like his nickname. I don't know if you we didn't get to the nicknames, but his nickname actually was the Accidency instead of his presidency.
Sure, because there were so many people that said, "You're not president. I read you the Constitution. You're still vice president, but you're supposed to carry out the duties."
And did he have a vice president?
Nope.
Do any presidents that become or vice presidents become president have a vice president?
Yeah. I'll give you one in recent times when Gerald Ford became president after Nixon resigned.
Oh, that's right.
Nelson Rockefeller.
Nelson Rockefeller.
Yes. There have been some times, though, where there hasn't been, like when Truman replaced Roosevelt.
Yeah.
He didn't have a vice president until he ran for his own reelection.
Okay. President Tyler, jerk, but a violinist, and quite a good one, I hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he preferred chamber music over marching tunes, though.
Okay. Our next episode in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And a matter of fact, I was just down in Key West and got to see the little White House down
We posted pictures on the Facebook page of you down there.
Harry Truman
All right.
lists and ranks as one of our greatest presidents of all time.
Really?
He is in the top 10.
Well, I can't wait to hear about that because I did not know that.
And everything else in his life, he failed. He was an extreme failure, except for being president. And the funny thing is,
Yeah.
when he left the White House, people deemed him a failure.
Really?
I will explain.
Yeah, I want that story to come out.
The failed president,
All right.
Harry S. Truman, who is one of the greatest presidents of all time.
How about
2
that?
weeks.
All right. This has been Beyond Mount Rushmore. I'm Jeff Hickox. This is our self-proclaimed presidential historian, Stan Nawalonic.
2 weeks.
Thanks, everybody.
See you around wherever you get your podcast.
Correct.